Bears must we take this disgrace? Another Bears fan throwing insults in our face. The Packers are the greatest team to ever play the game, even if from time to time they've been a little lame. How could you ever love a team with Jim McMahon? Not even Porky Pig was as big a him. They got a reputation that's mostly based on luck. The Bears still suck. 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 They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck. Soldier Field, they make you pay a toll. For cripe's sake, they only won one lousy Super Bowl. They make fun of Wisconsin, but we don't get upset. Where do you think that they're all headed every chance they get? We don't really hold a grudge, cause this is all in fun. As far as football rivalries, we're both number one. Still, we wouldn't mind seeing Ditka run over by a truck, cause the Bears still suck. 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 They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck. All the ladies now.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck.
Everybody now. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck. Hey!
Yeah, baby. Sweeping the Bears today. We sweep them CareBears into the fucking pit and throw their asses straight in the trash where those bums fucking rightfully belong. Relax, Judah Tribe. You're in the NFC North basement, where you belong. Wake up, and we hand the Bears their 9th straight L. Yeah, first time in 5 years we sweep the Chicago Bears. We didn't just sweep them, we dominated the living shit out of them and just pounded the ball right down their fucking throats. Like I said in the preview, you take away the running game from the Bears, you take away their entire offense, because we all know Justin Fields is just a running back pretending to be a goddamn quarterback. Before I talk about what happened between the Lions and the Bears today, let's talk about everything else that happened this week. So starting off, we had the Red Wings this week, and the Wings had 3 games this week. Where, of course, the Wings, they won 2 out of the 3 games this week, beating they beat Pittsburgh in a comeback from behind win, where they were able to come back from a 4-0 deficit on Pittsburgh. After they were down 4-0 after 1, Detroit came all the way back and won the game in overtime. And then Jake Wallman, he would do something that hasn't happened before in the NHL until now. The first ever gritty celebration. Yes, that gritty celebration that we've seen guys like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase do in the NFL. That celebration has officially made its way into the NHL. Yeah, for anyone that didn't think the gritty could be done on ice, well, the more you know. Like, he did that gritty perfectly without falling on his ass. So yeah, that was pretty cool too. You know, sadly they tried to come back against Buffalo from a 5-0 deficit, but they could only get it down to 2 before losing 6-3. And then the game against Ottawa, where they entered the third down by 2-1, and then Detroit would score 3 goals within the first 3.5 minutes of the third to win 4-2. I think we're starting to see the Red Wings' identity under Derek Lalonde, where it looks like the Red Wings might be a third-period team. Because twice in the 3 games, the Wings needed a third-period comeback to win. I don't know if that kind of success is healthy in the long run, but I mean the Wings, it could be good things to come. If the Wings can play well for the first 2 periods, then they can really put themselves in good positions too, so we don't have to rely on the third period too much. But yeah, seems like the Wings' third period might be their identity from here on out. It'll be interesting to see how the Wings can handle this new identity in the 2023 portion of the season, as we now enter the second half of the season. But can the Wings keep the momentum up? Because they're still trying to keep up with the Lions for #1 sports team in Detroit right now. Can the Lions take the spot back? Or do the Red Wings hang on to it? Well, there's one thing we can say. Jake Woolman, take us away and close it out with your famous gritty celebration.
Right foot creep, walking with that eater. Look around.
Now on to the Pistons, and for the Pistons had a 500 week. They won 2 games, they lost 2 games. Now losing to the Clippers on Boxing Day. A game where really the Pistons were just outplayed from the start. But they did rebound and won on Wednesday against Magic. But of course, even though the Pistons dominated the Magic, the main thing that overtook that game was another fucking brawl at Little Caesars Arena. This time it's Killian Hayes versus Mo Wagner. When Wagner and Hayes were both fighting for the ball, and then Wagner would intentionally body check Hayes right into the Pistons bench. And then during a little scuffle, Killian would get up and punch Mo Wagner from behind, and it just led to an absolute shit show. But the Pistons still hung on and won at least. Like, let me just say this here. I do give kudos from Killian Hayes to standing up for himself, but that's not how I would have done it. Like, I'm not a fan of punching someone from behind. Like, that's kind of a chicken shit move to punch someone from behind, but I mean, I understand Killian Hayes in the situation. Like, he did about what anybody else would have done in that situation. You know, I just kind of hate that he punched him from behind instead of face-to-face like a man. But at the end of the day, what the hell do you think Killian Hayes was going to do in that situation when you get fucking body checked into the bench? Like, what would you have done if you got body checked into the bench? But yeah, since Killian Hayes punching someone from behind, that's a big no-no, which means Killian Hayes has to spin the NBA wheel of discipline. And the wheel would win on Adam Silver's choice. And it was just an absolute clusterfuck. Where Killian Hayes gets a 3-game suspension for his part in the altercation. Mo Wagner got 2 games. Diallo got 1 game. And then 8 other players on the Magic got 1 game each. Mainly a few of them for leaving the bench. So yeah, in total, 11 players got suspended from that Magic Pistons game. At least for Hayes and Wagner, at least the suspensions were pretty even, so I'm not going to complain about that penalty. You know, 3 games, that's a reasonable penalty. Like, it probably would have been 3 games anyway if Killian Hayes punched him like a man, but hey, Mo Wagner learned a lesson the hard way of what happens when you play fuck around and find out. He found out alright. So yeah. You know, and hey, Friday, Judah Tribe at least gets his consolation prize for Friday. Because the Pistons sadly lost to Chitoilet, losing to the Bulls. Honestly, I would have liked to win both games this week. You know, win the Lions game and win the Pistons game, both games against Chitoilet, but we split War Week. But hey, Judah Tribe, it's okay. It's okay. I know the Bears got completely violated by the Lions today. But at least the Bulls beat the Pistons. You can breathe easy now. You at least got one win over Detroit during War Week. You get a consolation prize. And also, let me just say, I'm not gonna crow Judah Tribe for this. But I'll crow Mass Deadly Dashi 937 instead. Because at least Dashi is more of a fucking man than Vagina Tribe ever will be. At least Dashi has a pair of balls and is a man I can fucking respect. Judah Tribe's nothing but a bitch with a pair of pussy between his legs. But hey, at least the Pistons rebounded on New Year's Eve and beat the Timberwolves, even coming back from a 14-point deficit. But hey, even though the Lions won against the Bears, Judah Tribe at least gets the consolation prize with the Pistons losing to the Bulls. But also, congratulations. You beat a Pistons team that's trying to fucking tank for Victor Wembanyama. And trying to win the draft lottery for Victor. Honestly, Judah beating the Pistons, that's honestly just getting a gold medal at the special fucking Olympics. But hey, congratulations on your consolation prize at least. And now to the Lions game today, and man, just the Lions, what a way to bounce back after getting your dick kicked in against Carolina last Sunday. Just, what a very dominant performance from start to finish. Okay, maybe not the start. It was mainly after Chicago went up 10-7 when Detroit put the foot on the gas and kept Chicago at bay. Because it was looking like the Fields was going to run over the Bears until that 60-yard run in the first quarter. That ended up being the turning point in this game because after that run, we all noticed that Justin Fields actually pulled a muscle in his knee. And Fields didn't really run the ball after that. He only ran the ball 3-4 times? Fields really didn't run the ball the rest of the game after he tweaked his knee during that 60-yard run in the first quarter. Which led to a Chicago field goal. And then after that field goal, Detroit would score 34 unanswered points to win 41-10. This Lions offense has been fun and exciting and electric to watch. It is fun to watch Lions games again. I haven't been able to say that for a fucking while. But it truly is. Just very great. After that, once Fields tweaked his knee, the defense was able to get their shit together and make a couple adjustments after that. Just playing spy, have someone playing spy on Fields. Because like I said before, you take away the run game from the Bears, you take away that entire offense, because we all know Fields cannot throw a fucking ball. And it's very evident when Justin Fields had 33 fucking yards passing in QB. And people really want to fucking convince me that Justin Fields is a fucking franchise quarterback, when he isn't. Justin Fields is a fucking running back, pretending to be a quarterback. And you want to know how much evidence I need to tell you that Fields is a running back pretending to be a QB? The fact that Fields had over 105 rushing yards in the first quarter and only 33 passing yards. Because once the Lions took away the run game from the Bears, mainly by just going up with 2 or 3 scores, Chicago had nothing. They had nothing. Fields had it. Fields couldn't really even throw the ball. Hell, in the second half, the Bears have only 1 or 2 first downs in the entire second half. And then, I was feeling kind of down, though, after Michigan lost to TCU yesterday in the college football playoffs. I'll still rep this belt anyway. But then after Aiden Hutchinson got a half a sack on Fields, and then recovered a fumble by Fields, and then intercepting Fields to end the first half on a rush 0 play, after that, I'm happy. I mean, hey, any chance you have to embarrass an Ohio State QB, you gotta take it. Especially with the Michigan boy, Hutchinson. And then, holy shit, James Houston had his career game. He had his legacy game today. Because 3 sacks, a strip fumble. Hell, even one of those sacks, Houston was able to get a sack without even touching Fields. Because all Houston had to do to get one of his 3 sacks was just throw an offensive lineman right in the Fields, and Fields went down like a bitch. Yeah, it's that easy. So easy to sack Justin Fields, you don't even have to touch him. Just throw one of his offensive linemen right into him. So yeah, that was kind of funny how Houston was able to sack Fields by just throwing someone right at Fields. I mean, hey, whatever you gotta do, you gotta do. But at least Houston after that, at least Houston's other 2 sacks were pretty legitimate. Including the strip sack, which led to Hutchinson recovering the ball, which led to Lions field goal. You know, just the Lions were able to just take full advantage of the Bears. Like, the Lions did whatever they wanted with the Bears. Like, it's very interesting. Once Fields tweaked his knee, the Bears couldn't run the ball the rest of the game. And that was the one thing the Lions had issues with last week against Carolina on that fucking frozen ice rink in Charlotte. Because of terrible fucking field conditions. Like, hell, field conditions are so bad that the NFL Players Union is actually filing a grievance against Carolina and the NFL for the field conditions. I'm not sure how to feel about that grievance. Like, honestly, that grievance, I don't know if that grievance really does anything for the Lions, to be honest. No, it just, I have no comment on that grievance. But, yeah, just, you know, very great game from start to finish from the Lions. You know, Lions did what they needed to do, dominated those CareBear bitches, and sent Chitoilet packing. And the Lions secured their first sweep in 5 goddamn years. Sweeping Judah Trav's bitch ass all over the turf along with the rest of that pathetic Chitoilet team. Like, honestly, though, any day you beat Chitoilet is a great day. It was truly a great day to beat the Bears, you know. Can't stand the Bears, I can't stand their fucking fan base. All I say to Bears fans for this one is, hey, are Bears fans gonna push Lions fans down 3 flights of stairs over this loss this time? Like you fucking did to that one Lions fan back in week 10? Because, trust me, I knew about that video. I heard about it. And to be honest, I'm not surprised Chicago fans do such disgusting things like that. I mean, to be honest, Chicago sports fans, this is the same sports fan base that threatened to kill Steve Bartman over a fucking foul ball 20 years ago. So, it's not really surprising that Chicago fans are absolute douchebags. Because honestly, they're a shittier fan base than Philadelphia and Boston. At least Eagle fans are having fun when throwing snowballs at Santa Claus and fighting each other and shit. Hell, Bills fans at least are having fun with putting each other through tables, for fuck's sake. But yeah, just the Lions did everything they needed to beat the Bears, dominate them from top to bottom. Lions keep their playoff hopes alive, beating Chicago 41-10. Damn. And that's also the 3rd time this year Detroit has scored at least 40-plus points in a game. And we all know how hard it is to score 40 points in a game in this league. And hell, the Lions even had running the ball, like, you know, Brock Wright, Big Cock Brock had 2 TDs. You know, Goff played an outstanding game. Didn't make that many mistakes, played a clean game for the most part. DeAndre Swift had 2 TDs today. You know, Swift bouncing back and having one of his best games of the season. Even Jamal Williams had a great game. Even Jamal Williams had the longest run of his career in this game with a 59-yard run. A run that was so electric that Jared Goff was actually keeping up with the ref during that play to go congratulate Jamal on that run. After Goff got benched for Nate Sudfeld because the Lions were already up 28 points, they might as well give Jared Goff as much rest as he can get to keep him healthy for Green Bay next week for the big playoff game next week. But yeah, just, you know, very great game, you know. Defense played outstanding. You know, especially Hutchinson and, you know, James Houston. Those 2 other defensive MVPs in this game. Like, just look at their rookie seasons this year. Like, holy shit. No, the Lions got something in the pass rushing duo with these 2. With Hutchinson and James Houston. Like, Brad Holmes struck again getting Houston. Like, Houston in the 6 is an absolute steal from the school that Primetime built. But yeah, just very impressive. You know, very impressive team game. You know, a great game to bounce back after that embarrassment on Christmas Eve to Carolina. You know, just outstanding job from the Lions today. And also, the Lions get a little help from the Cleveland Browns today after the Browns beat the Washington Commanders. So now the Lions jump ahead of Washington in the standings. So now for Week 18, now all we need is the Jets to beat the Seahawks, and we'll have to see how that game goes later on. Because if the Jets beat the Seahawks, then the 7th and final wild card is Detroit. And also with Detroit winning, it means that Green Bay can now be eliminated if they lose to the Vikings later on today. To be honest though, I would rather have Green Bay not be eliminated this week than be eliminated. Because I feel like Green Bay will be more dangerous next week if they're eliminated. Because you know Aaron Rodgers wants to play spoiler and end the Lions season, especially with how much shit he's talked. And oh yeah, there is a Packers hate week this coming up. I am doing a round 2 for Packers hate week. First time ever in this channel's history I will be doing a hate week for this regular season finale. One more round. Mainly because the Lions have never been in the position for me to do one in the final week of the year. Until now. But yeah, Lions win, go to 8-8. But if Green Bay wins, then Washington could be eliminated and Seattle could be eliminated if Seattle loses to the Jets. So if Green Bay wins and Seattle loses, then the game against Green Bay next week is for the final spot, where it's a win-or-go-home game. And there's a good chance the game against Green Bay is probably going to be a Sunday night game. You know, we'll find out later on today who's going to be in the Sunday night game. But odds are Detroit is either going to be playing a 4 o'clock game against Green Bay next week or in the Sunday night game. To be honest, I think the Sunday night game is either going to be Lions-Packers or it's going to be Jaguars-Titans. You know, we'll see who the NFL thinks would be in a better matchup for Week 18 for ratings for Sunday night. Honestly, I'd rather it be the Lions than Packers. I mean, hey, if the Seahawks lose to the Jets, then I think it's more than likely that Lions and Packers will be the Sunday night game next week. In a win-or-go-home game. Then again, Jaguars and Titans are also a win-or-go-home game too, where the winner goes to the playoffs with the AFC South and the loser goes home. But yeah, you know, just great game from the Lions. Keep our playoff hopes alive. Now we just need a little help. Like, if Seattle can lose, then Detroit's in a win-and-you're-in situation next week against Green Bay. In Lambeau. And it's going to be a cold weather game. I mean, hey, you know, Lions just need to play like they did today in the cold weather. You know, and just put A-Run out of his misery. Like, if there's any team I want to beat in Week 18, 100% it would be the Packers and A-Run Frogers. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this win. We get the War Week win over Vagina Tribe. And funny thing was, Judah Tribe was starting to trash talk. Until I mentioned the rule until I asked the question of if you were allowed to trash talk once your team got eliminated. And then after I mentioned that rule, Judah stopped trash talking. Just know this, Judah Tribe will forever be my bitch. And Judah Tribe saying we should acknowledge him, you can acknowledge my nuts in his face. And you can also acknowledge the nuts the Lions laid down all over the Bears' face today. Lions grit prevails once again. Hell yeah, because in Dan Campbell we trust. Now on to Week 18 for Judgment Day. See y'all later for Packers Week. I'm out.